August 11, 2025. A day where sports history was made, music legends fell silent, politics clashed with truth, and viral culture blurred the lines between fact and fiction. These aren't just headlines, these are turning points. And once you know the full story, you'll never look at today the same way again. A sold-out stadium. A world-famous singer. Thousands of screaming fans. The night was supposed to be pure magic. But halfway through his set, Maluma turned his microphone away from the music, and toward a mother in the crowd. With the entire arena watching, he called her out for bringing her one-year-old child to a high-decibel concert, saying the noise could be harmful, and urging her to be more conscious next time. With all due respect, protect your child's ears. This is your responsibility. As a father myself, I would never do this. The moment was raw, personal, and unexpected. Fans froze. Some cheered his honesty, others booed at what they saw as public shaming. Within minutes, clips hit social media, igniting fierce debate. Was this responsible parenting advice in the spotlight, or an unnecessary humiliation? Behind the scenes, concert staff and onlookers say security and family members tried to diffuse the tension. PR experts remain split. Some praise it as genuine care, others warn it could tarnish his image. The keys fell silent this morning. Bobby Whitlock, keyboardist, singer, and co-founder of Derek and the Dominos, has died at 77. The man behind Layla and other timeless tracks shaped an era of rock and soul. Friends remember his laugh, his fire, his refusal to play for fame alone. Fans remember the way his music bled emotion into every note. This isn't just another obituary, it's a reminder that entire cultural movements can be traced to a single pair of hands, now forever still. Landon Dickerson, the Philadelphia Eagles' three-time Pro Bowl left guard, was injured during an open practice at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday night. The moment took a frightening turn as the 26-year-old went down late in a pass play, unable to put weight on his right leg. He was eventually helped off the field and carted to the locker room. This incident marks a major concern for the defending Super Bowl champions. Just months earlier, Dickerson signed a mammoth 4-year extension, making him the highest-paid guard in NFL history. Previously touted as one of the top 5 interior linemen in the league, he carried one of the most dominant offensive lines in football. What happens next hangs in the balance. The Eagles' depth on the offensive line will be tested, with backups like Brett Toth potentially stepping in. Meanwhile, fans wait anxiously for injury updates ahead of the season open. What happens next hangs in the balance. The Eagles' depth on the offensive line will be tested, with backups like Brett Toth potentially stepping in. Meanwhile, fans wait anxiously for injury updates ahead of the season opening. Baseball has been called America's pastime, but for over a century one thing stayed the same. No woman had ever stepped on the field as an umpire in a major league game. Until today. Jen Paywall in full gear walked to home plate and rewrote history. Some fans cheered her every call, others jeered, a raw reflection of the cultural divide. She stood unfazed, commanding the game with precision. Critics say baseball's traditions are under threat. Supporters say it's about time. For Paywall, it's not about gender, it's about the strike zone and getting it right. A deadly shooting outside the CDC's Atlanta headquarters has left the nation reeling. The gunman, identified as 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White of Kennesaw, Georgia, opened fire on Friday, killing 33-year-old DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose, a decorated Marine veteran, before being shot and killed himself. In his final statements to investigators before succumbing to his wounds, White claimed he believed a COVID-19 vaccine had caused his depression and suicidal thoughts, an assertion medical experts have condemned as both unfounded and dangerously misleading. The CDC Workers' Union wasted no time issuing a blistering statement, calling White's words a reckless excuse for cold-blooded violence, and warning that such conspiracy-laced rhetoric threatens the safety of public health workers nationwide. Mental health advocates say the tragedy risks deepening public mistrust in medicine and could inspire copycat attacks fueled by misinformation. Officer Rose leaves behind a grieving family, fellow officers, and a community in mourning. For the families of the victims, justice is now a demand, not a request. And for the country, the questions run deep. How can a single life spiral into an irreversible tragedy? The diplomatic stage is set, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Former President Trump has confirmed a one-on-one summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on August 15, 2025, aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. The announcement has set off a geopolitical storm. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has blasted the move, warning that any talks involving territorial concessions would be a betrayal. European allies are equally alarmed, insisting that Moscow must face consequences, not rewards. For Trump, it's a gamble, a high-profile bid to claim the mantle of peacemaker. For Kyiv, it's a red line. And for the world, it's a test of whether diplomacy can bridge a battlefield, or just redraw it. The political theater today had all the tension of a playoff final. Former President Trump announced a sweeping federal crackdown on crime in Washington, D.C., citing skyrocketing violence. City officials hit back within hours, pointing to their own data showing crime rates dropping. The standoff isn't just about numbers, it's about control, narrative, and power. On one side, federal agents ready to move in. On the other, local leaders demanding autonomy. For DC residents, it's more than politics. It's about safety, trust, and who really runs their city. 7 stories. 7 snapshots of a country in motion, and in conflict. Which one hit you hardest? Was it the breaking of barriers, the shattering of myths, or the fights over truth itself? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see the full picture behind tomorrow's headlines, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next chapter is already being written, and you don't want to miss it.